So do you prefer to the lens, or would you prefer to you? Lens? Sure. Hi, my name is David Smith. I'm the founder of PlatePros. We're a 360-degree moving environment, virtual production services company. Today at Cine Gear Expo, we're showcasing this is our largest scale array. This is a 17-camera array that's part of a purpose-built vehicle that we can travel anywhere in the country to acquire 360-degree moving environments, mostly used for virtual production and driving scenes. So if you see an actor driving in a car, everything that's outside that car is usually done on a sound stage, either a green screen or an LED stage. And in that case, everything that's outside the car is coming from our content or content like ours. Today also at the show, we're releasing our new library. So we actually are shooting a complete 360-degree moving environment library that is stock footage you can download directly off of our website at www.platepros.com/library. So right now, this rig will be traveling around the country pretty much from now on, acquiring new content. So every few days, you'll see new content showing up on the website. Sure. So there's a lot of high-profile projects. Some of them you can see on our demo reel. A lot of them we're not really allowed to talk about of our recent jobs because we're still under NDA for them, but they're exciting big studio features that you're all interested in seeing. In past years, we've worked on things like The Irishman, Joker. We do a lot of television work, and pretty much if you see an actor driving in a car, there's a pretty good chance that what's outside that car either came from us or from a rig like ours.
Is this something people buy or rent?
So the rig itself is something that we offer as a service. So being able to operate a rig like this is very specific. It takes a lot of training and a lot of experience. So usually we'll have productions reach out and hire us to work as a production services company. So the rig and the crew come with it, and we basically charge you for the day to be able to acquire the content. In addition to that, really, the only thing that we sell direct to the customer, aside from service, is the licensing on the library. So being able to then pick a plate from the website and bring that, just download it and incorporate it into your production.
Why are you using LUMIX?
So we've had a long history with Panasonic. This is the third generation of the array. Our first generation went all the way back to the GH2. We then moved on to the GH4, the GH5S. This is now the BGH1, which is a Micro Four Thirds box camera that we worked closely with Panasonic to develop. The amazing thing about this is that each one of these cameras are networked together and able to be controlled by a single app to work as one massive system. So we can make one change and all the cameras respond at once rather than having to work with individual cameras. So that functionality, especially for array work, these cameras are absolutely fantastic. Image quality-wise, it's a Netflix A-camera approved camera. And is able to produce incredibly clean, noise-free images with high dynamic range. This array is interesting because we actually have two separate arrays happening at the same time. And this is for high dynamic range shooting. We're able to do one exposure on one ring and a second exposure on the second ring. These rings are shooting the same content, but each one is being recorded at a different exposure. We then merge all of that together in post using one of our partner companies, which is Barnstorm VFX. They're able to merge all of that together into one high dynamic range file. So that you can basically make incredibly large exposure sweeps. In this case, it was almost 22 stops of exposure between both of them for the project we built this for. So these cameras, they shoot in what's called a log profile. It's actually the same image science from the VariCam. So it's a dual ISO camera. It means that it's incredibly sensitive in low light and still very noise-free. But because we're shooting in log, it gives us a tremendous amount of color correction capability, which is nice when we're dealing with an array. Each camera looking in every direction. What's perfect in this direction from an exposure and color perspective might be weird in that direction, but we can't change it per camera because we need the entire footage to feel like it's one cohesive whole. So having a wide dynamic range and a wide color range within the camera gives us the ability to blend all of that together and hold it as one cohesive whole. Indeed. So because this is a background plate, the foreground is being filmed by, say, an Arri Alexa or a Sony Venice, and so we need this to be able to feel to match well with that foreground camera. So it's important that this have a similar color profile. It's a very cinematic camera, and it is able to cut directly with those. A lot of times we're also projecting this up onto an LED wall. So with the LED wall, we're able to then color live on set in the moment. We can color the wall separate from the foreground and bring them all together so that it's essentially a seamless real-time composite happening in the actual cinema camera. Vlog, yeah.
Yeah, but it's some new thing that can get really close.
Yeah.
To RE and
Yeah.
so that's the only reason why I asked that question.
Yeah, so that's more in their S line, so the S1H. So this is the generation just prior to that. There's another version. There's another version that's gonna show up in these two. Yeah.
So next time I see you.
Fair.
Cool beans.
Awesome.
Good, right?
Walter, yeah, I feel good.
You like the interaction?
Yeah.
This is something
Fantastic.
new, interaction.
Awesome.
Thank you.